This
Enter
conference will
into
now be recorded.
different types of SDLCs we have in the market. How to understand SDLC first? First, let me see in real scenarios. The first thing is any company we need to understand bidding of the project. You know what is bidding? Bidding means nothing but companies will participate for action, especially for very big projects, right? Very small projects, okay, we can deal with anyone, but very big projects, big companies, they have their own standards and they should follow the standards compulsory. Okay, here bidding, when go for bidding, the two persons are very important in a companies, like we call them marketing business analyst, we call BA, and engagement manager EM. Engagement manager EM. So what is the role of marketing business analyst BA? This marketing business is not a technical department, is from non-technical. He has very good talent to attract the customers. Is the main person giving proposals to the clients, and he has to convince the client, and he has to satisfy the client. So what this guy will do, if companies, if clients are calling for any bidding, these fellows will participate and they'll go with some presentation. First initially they'll go with presentation. They have to give that presentation to the client and they'll explain about our company standards. They'll explain about our company measurements we are following, and they'll explain about the clients we have so far. They'll explain the quality we followed so far, and they'll explain very clearly about our company. We have to attract the customer, and you might have seen in companies also, like client visit to companies, right? You might have seen at the time companies are very busy in whitewash. Everything they'll maintain perfectly at that time. 1 week client visit means they don't want to lose that project. So they'll do all arrangements. So this business analyst, marketing business analyst, will be the right person to participate in this process, and he has to give some proposal to the customers and he explained about the companies and everything. If client is satisfied with the proposal what we are given, then the client and company will sign up the project. Sign off in the sense they go for official agreements between the client and company about the project delivery is known as sign off. They'll write a lot of agreements. And here, once the sign off is done, assume that once the project is done, the very first meeting conducted in companies is kickoff meeting. The very first meeting, kickoff meeting. What is this kickoff meeting means? Once the project is signed off, company will go for kickoff meeting. It's a quick meeting. All high level management will participate and they'll announce the project, the client, and they'll choose the project manager for the project. The project manager is responsible for, if SDLC, agile means agile, whatever may be. Just they'll gather upon all the people in a company and who are in the bench seat. Might have seen hardly about your people. I mean bench sitting, right? Bench sitting means what? No project. Now the people get awareness. So they'll gather everyone, they'll announce the project, they'll announce the client, and they'll announce the type of the project and all that. And what 15 to 20 minute meeting, everyone, managers, everybody, not sharing screen. Is my screen sharing here?
No, sir. No, sir.
No.
Sh- sh- I
Yes,
shared. Check it out. So
it's
that's the
good.
main purpose of, yeah, that's the main purpose of kickoff meeting. And once they complete kickoff meeting, then the engagement manager. What is responsibility engagement manager EM? Engagement manager is responsible to maintain relationship between the client and the company. He acts as a bridge between the client and the company. There should be one person, especially for big companies and for big projects. The third person, any problems your company has, your company cannot directly contact your clients. If a client has any problem with the company, he cannot directly contact the company people. So that they'll maintain this third party person. He'll act as a bridge and you'll take the voice of your customer to company and the company voice to your customer. So bidding will be done according to the project business point of view, based on the here before going for bidding, what the companies are looking for, the clients are looking, they'll study about the company. Blindly they don't give project to companies here. They'll study about the company. They should know the history of that company, and they should have some estimations, and they should look for time and cost. These are all the things they look after, clients. Time is also important. Estimations means like what are the things can be, what things are possible, what things are not possible, these things. So if say 1 year client, one year is planning to give 1 crore means, so they may bid for say 1 crore, one client one, he may quote for 2 crores for 2 years. Second client 1.5 for 1.5 years, and for 1 crore for 1 year. Accordingly they'll go on, they'll participate in all that aspects and they'll do it. So that is what happens in the bidding of the project, especially in top MNCs here, not in small scale industries. So these are all internal things we don't know, right? They don't allow you to understand. I mean, they don't give all the documentations to you guys. Don't expect any agreements, documents, and all that. That's hidden process. But you should have some idea what is happening at the company level also. Here, as you know, this SDLCs. What is SDLC? Software Development Life Cycle. SDLC is a process of developing system information, investigations. System information means nothing but gathering customer requirements. Investigation means analyzing the requirements, designing that requirements, coding that design, testing that project, and we are going to deliver and maintenance. Delivery and maintenance. What are these? So all the stages we follow in SDLC. How do we choose SDLC for one project means? We don't blindly choose. A lot of SDLCs we have in the market, but we don't choose blindly, right? So to choose any SDLC one project, first of all, they have to consider some factors. What are factors they have to consider? Requirements, duration of the project, environment setup for that project, resources required for that project. So without say, suppose you are planning for one building construction means, blindly we cannot ask your builder to construct your building. There are some certain process. Your builder should understand how much land space you have and how much of budget you can invest on it. What's your planning? These things are required. Blindly we cannot go and construct something and give something to customers. So we choose SDLC based on some factors. Okay, here the very first documentation mails from your manager, say PIN. PIN. PIN stands for Project Initiation or Intimation Note. The first mail you get from your manager. PIN. Project Intimation or Initiation or Intimation Note. It is an email will be prepared by project manager where it contains the start date and end date of the project. The mail will be sent to client and high level managements. PIN indicates starts of the project. If you get a PIN mail from your managers, it indicates that we need to start the project. They'll specify on what date we need to start it and what date we need to end that project. Simple information will be given by them. Okay. So here, before we go with the different types of SDLCs, it is my responsibility to explain you what are the terminologies we come across in SDLC. See that we come across different terminologies. Any SDLC. First listen. BRS. Business Requirement Specification. It is one of the documentation. Some people also call it as SRS. System Requirement Specifications. Some people also call it as Functional Requirement Specifications. Some people also call it as business document also we call it, or some people call it as business design documentation. Remember all of you guys, from BRS to BDD, names are changing, the process will be same. This is a documentation which contains your customer business requirements, which contains your customer functional requirements, which contains your customer test to data in detail. So who is responsible for this? I'll discuss. Next, ERD, entity relationship diagrams. HLD, high level design. LLD, low level design. DFD, data flow diagrams. White box testing, black box testing, and user acceptance testing. That means these are all the terminologies we come across in SDLCs here, any SDLC. Now let me explain you the process, how it is follows, who are participating, what are the stages we have, and what responsibilities will be taken by them. Let me explain clearly one by one. Look at this diagram clearly, all of you guys. Here I taken participants, and these are the stages we have, and these are the responsibilities are taken up by these guys. Very simple. If you go for interview, they'll ask you, can you explain me how SDLC process followed in our organization? Why we are following SDLC? It's only for testing? No, it's for everybody. It's a process for developing one software. Yes, see that. Participants. The first participant for any SDLC, business analyst. What is his responsibility? Business analyst, what is trying to do? As I told you, suppose assume that we got one project from US to a Hyderabad company. You're working in a Hyderabad company, and your company got one new project from one of the US client. Say it's a healthcare project. Assume that healthcare. And what this business analyst is trying to do? This business analyst will take appointment from your client and will reach the client's location. He will sit with that customer and he will try to gather all his business requirements, whatever required for that software development. After gathering his business requirements, it is his responsible to understand all the requirements, and it is his responsible to analyze all the requirements, and based on that requirements given by the client and based on the way he understands, he has to document. That is called as BRS, business requirement specification, or SRS, software requirement specification, or functional requirement specification. What is this documentation? You know, guys, this is one of the detailed documentation. It is like a movie story. If I want to take one new movie, I should get ready with the script. I can't keep on writing story every day. I should get 2.5 hour movie story. The script should ready with me. It's a documentation. See that. I will show you one project, one of the school project which we done in our company. CAMS. Look at that. SRS. It will be like this. In MS Word, they'll prepare an MS Word. 200 pages, 300 pages, depends upon the size of the project they'll prepare. Depends upon the size of the project. See that. So they'll define very clearly author and what did it's reviewed and what it contains. What's the purpose of this project? What objectives of this project? What is the existing environment of this project? External interface requirements, non-functional requirements, and client propose that is proposing us what to develop. The modules called login module, profile modules, fees module, attendance module, academic module, transport module, hostel module, library module. These are all the modules we need to develop. Finance module, events module, and stock modules, and reports modules. That means these are the modules that are given us for developing in their software. So we don't know about this requirement. That's what the business analyst, he will go to the school management, he will sit with that management people, and he will gather whatever required and he will document. Look at that. He will document. He'll explain very clearly in English. It should be understandable to everybody. The very first documentation we receive in companies is SRS. It should be very clear. If you want to know something about your project, you have to go through these documentations in real time. You want developer, a tester, a client, or whoever maybe. Everybody should go through this SRS documentation. You need to understand this documentation first. That means if you understand this documentation, nothing but you're understanding your current project. He's explaining very clearly what kind of colors you want, what kind of abbreviations you want. He'll follow in this project. What are the modules he see? What is the new student profile? how the documentation to be developed. Come down. They give very clear explanation. If you come down, they'll explain very clearly. Because see, it is not prepared by business analyst, right? The software development is not done by business analyst. It's only a fellow who can gather his requirements and document like this. And is giving us database requirements also. How much RAM he want, how many records he can save in it. Everything is giving very clearly. Now see, in the proposed system, he is explaining you guys very clearly about login. So that this is a use case. From based on this use case only, we are going to write test cases here. This is explanation given by the business analyst based on the client business point of view. He is explaining us when user is acting, how system should respond. Developer, if I'm a designer, if I'm a developer, I will refer this, I will go through this documentation, I will understand this documentation and I'll implement my technology. You go with any technology, I don't care. Technology is not explained here. User requirements are explained very clearly. Not only that, look at the data also. Text box, username, login, we have two text box, username and password. Username should allow 6 to 20 characters. Password should allow 6 to 15 characters. Everything will be documented. Next module, roles module. Next module, students module. See, very clearly they're explaining us each and every module in a systematic way. That's what I'm saying. SRS, simply call, we follow SRS, software requirement specification. This documentation contains, what it contains here? It contains the complete functional requirements in a simple English. This documentation is not only referred by tester, everybody in the organization should go through this documentation and you have to understand it and you have to go ahead accordingly. So that is what I mean to say. That is the main responsible of this business analyst. Is taking such a responsibilities, right? If there is no yesterday class, why do we have defects in software means incorrect requirements? If it's not trying to gather requirements correctly, the whole process will collapse. That is what he's trying to do, the first stage, initial stage. After completion of gathering business requirements, after completion of developing a detailed SRS documentation or FRS documentation, the business analyst will send one copy to client again. 100%. Client approval is very much important. He will send this copy to the client and he'll ask, hey customer, please go through your SRS. Yes, we prepared. Make sure that we met your expectations. Let us know any modifications required in it. Yes, of course, client is investor here. He's not investing 1 rupee, 2 rupees. He's investing some lakhs and crores together on this. So he will refer it. Any modification recommended, he will again he may communicate with the business analyst people and he'll make them to make the changes. That's what happens in the initial stage business analyst. After completion of SRS preparation, once the client is approving the documentation, next department, look at that, PM, project manager, PL, project lead, TM, test manager, TL, team lead or test lead. All these are high level management. These members will go for stage called planning stage. And what are the responsibilities here? Now they have to prepare a project plan. What is a project plan? Here, what happens in real scenarios? The business analyst, he will sit with this department here. First, he will discuss about that project with this department. And these are good experienced fellows here. Manager, right? He's a very good experienced fellow. He know how the planning should be done. So once he understands the requirements of that project, your manager, in Excel sheet, he'll prepare a plan like how much duration we are taking for developing that project, how many days we'll take, how much budget we require for that, how many resources we required, like developers, how many developers required, how many testing team required, in testing how many manual testers required, how many automation, in automation what tool you are following, are we going with Selenium tool, are we going with the load runner, are we going with QTP? They have to plan everything. Budget planning is required, resource planning is required, environment planning is required. They'll tell everything in a systematic way and they'll send that copy again to client. Hey client, this is our plan. This is our budget plan. This is our resource plan. This is our so and so. They'll explain to client. If client is approving it, if client is okay with all, then immediately they start test plan. Test plan, a plan, there are two plans we have. One is developer plan is different, testing team plan is entirely different. Developers lead, they'll prepare their own plan. Your leader, test team lead also will be there for you guys. You are working under a team lead, and those guy, what that guy will do, he will prepare one plan for you guys. What that plan is explaining you. Test plan explains what to test, when to test, who to test, how to test. What else testing team required there? It's giving very good plan for you. Wait for that plan. Don't take your own decisions over here. Don't try to work on your own. Go according to plan. Understand the plan, and then you have to start testing your project. So once the plan is ready and once the plan is distributed to everybody, now the first department, that is called system analyst. Developers, system analyst. What is his stage here? Designing stage. What is doing during designing stage is going with high level design, low level design. HLD, LL, the documentations. What is high level design document means? High level design document is nothing but project architecture. They are developing a project architecture with help of data flow diagrams, DFD, data flow diagrams, with help of data flow diagrams. For example, assume that you have prepared your building. A building construction is completed here for your building. You have considered your building, new building. What the next stage for that building means? We'll plan for architecture for your building, right? Architecture. What that architecture we plan is woodwork. Suppose you are planning for woodwork. That woodwork is not done by the bricklayer. It's done by some other department, carpenter department. So what is our responsibility here? First of all, we need to call our carpenter to your house. And you have to show up your requirements to that carpenter. Nowadays, carpenters are very intelligent fellows. Olden days are different. They used to come with paper and pencil. Nowadays, they're coming with catalogs. Yes or no? If you show your requirements, they'll show immediately the diagrams for that. Means that is called project architecture. HLD means external design. They'll show you. Yes, sir. Go with this design. 25 lakhs. Go with this design. 10 lakhs. Go with this design. So and so. They'll explain you. By looking that picture, we get clarity. The same way in software development also. Before you go for real design, low level is real architecture. Before you go for real architecture, show me the diagrams, how you are planning to my project, what architecture you are following. So these fellows, they'll design the diagrams in a systematic way and they'll send one copy to client. Hey client, see that. This is how we are planning. This is how the way we are planning, designing for your project. By looking that, customer get clarity. Presentations are given very clearly there. If any modifications required, you'll request them to modify accordingly. So HLD, it's always external design. External, suppose say for example, how we design for this module say student profile. What is student profile here in a school nowadays? They're maintaining their own softwares nowadays. No more paper, pencil, right? So when a new student joining my school, when new student joins my school, I have to maintain his information. I have to store his information in my database. So for this, see, for this what they're doing, they're trying to design something for that. Example I'm showing you. Forward. Here. Student profile. So when I open the student profile, how they're designing the student profile? So this is a form. How they're designing this form here? They're going with SRS. Look at that. In SRS, they give very clear. See, system shows student profile screen. System shows user details following like admission number, academic year, date of admission, date of admission. Next, name of the student, next student profile, name of the student, gender, date of birth, identification marks. Everything. I'm not taking my own ideas and designing the software. Everything should design according to what? According to the SRS, whatever clients are given. So that nobody can remember these fields, right? That's what they're documenting. Business analyst is documenting everything in SRS. Based on this only, they're going for designing the software. That is the responsibility of system analyst here. Low level design means what? Now they'll start real architecture like ERD, entity, relationship diagrams. Entity, relationship diagrams, and they'll start technical specifications also. Entity, relationship diagrams are nothing but they'll interlink what exactly we need to implement. They'll implement everything accordingly. They'll go on implementing that process which I shown you. So system architecture is nothing but a designer. Comes under developer only. After completion of designing the software, then real developers will come into picturation. We call developers, and the stage is what? Coding. Coding means what? Developing the source code. What source code they'll be developing here? Based on what they'll be developing source code? Source code is developed based on this designing part. Developer, here we got all diagrams, relationship diagram, main module, sub module, everything. Picturation will be there, very clear picturation will be there. According to that picturation, they have to go on developing the source code. That source code can be a Java code. That source code can be .NET code. 1 second. Okay. According to that designing part only, they'll start developing the source code. After developing the source code, that source code can be anything here. They'll discuss in the planning itself. They'll decide here itself whether to go with Java, whether to go with the .NET. They'll decide. We don't want to worry. After developing the source code, we can't give any guarantee that every line of code will work correctly, right? Even though developer having 10 years or 20 years experience, we cannot give guarantee that every line of code will work perfectly. So to test that code, developers are using some techniques called as white box testing techniques. Here they're going with unit testing and integration testing. That's what yesterday. Errors or mistakes are found by whom? Errors or mistakes are found by developer during white box testing. He has to execute. I'll discuss again once we complete this process. What is white box and all that. After executing, after developing the source code for the entire project, it is developer responsible to ensure that the code is working perfectly internally. After completion of integration, integration means what? Now integrating all the modules. They're combining them to form a system. After developing that software only, participant of tester will come into picturation, and your stage is what? Testing stage. And what you guys are doing, we will be getting one executable application from developer. Once we get that executable application from developer, what you do? You have to go with system testing. What is system testing? We'll discuss. Don't worry. I'm not going with the techniques now. I'm discussing the process. Don't confuse. System testing means, what the meaning of system testing means? System testing is nothing but executing the whole software. I developed Gmail software now. As a developer, I develop. Now I'm giving that Gmail software to you guys, to testing department. What you do, guys? What are the functionalities that are developed in Gmail? You go on testing that every module and check it out. Every functionality is developed based on client business requirements or not. So here we go with number of techniques. We test functional testing. We go with non-functional testing. We go with performance testing. We go with usability testing. We go with security testing. We go with compatibility. Lot of techniques we apply. We apply a lot of techniques to ensure that the system is working perfectly as per end users, as per client given business requirements or not. So, but that we are using some techniques called as black box testing techniques. So, after completion of testing a software by testing department and one more team, production executive team members will participate, and these guys, what they're doing, they're going to deliver and they're going to show maintenance. Means they're going to maintain the maintenance also. And here, especially product based companies, what they're trying to do here is they're going to release a trial version to customers, or we call beta version to customers. Trial version or beta versions to customers. After releasing the trial or beta version to customers, they'll take feedback of the customers. They'll take the feedback of the customers, and if they're done according to their expectations, everything, then they're going to release real version to market. That I'll discuss. What is UAT testing? How testing will be done? Okay, that means the SDLC process means it's a systematic way. It's not like simply getting customer requirements, developing something and release to customer. No, we have to go in a systematic way. Then only we can able to reach the customer business point of view. Here I have two questions here. See, in any SDLC, like one is called, when do you start our testing process in SDLC? When do we start our testing process in SDLC? And when do you start your testing in SDLC? When do you start your testing means 100% any tester, any company will start our testing after getting executable application from developer. Yes, am I right? When we start our testing process, as soon as the test plan is ready, as soon as your test plan is ready, start our process. What is our process? Tester process, you know. When developing is going on in a company, when developing is going on in a company, what is the role of tester here? You know, what is the role of tester here? You know, what you will be doing in companies when developing is going on. So that when developing is going on, you are busy with this. What that? Understanding and analyzing requirements. We'll train you. Don't worry. You are joining my company with 5 plus, 6 plus, 10 plus, what X plus, what we don't care. We'll train you. We'll train you on the current project. Once you understand that current project, then you are allowed supposed to write test cases. Where do we write our test cases? We write test cases in Excel sheet, or we may write them in Jira tool, management tools. Along with the test case, we have to go on preparing test to data. Test to data means, just now I showed in SRS, minimum 12 characters, maximum 50 characters data inputs. Get ready. Along with the test case, get ready. You can't remember it by tomorrow. And once your test case are ready, it will be reviewed by your managers or leaders. 100%. Every test case should be reviewed by them. After developing the software, that means after getting executable application from developer, you guys what you have to do? Whatever test case you prepared, keep on executing them. Validate your application. 100%. During execution, you may come across defects. Defects means if any test case got failed. If any test case got failed, what is that meaning? If there is a deviation between your expected behavior to actual behavior, we should report that as defect to developer. That is called what we do, defect reporting, or we call tracking the defect to developer. 100% every day in real scenarios, we have two types of meetings, daily meetings, on-site meetings, offshore meetings. On-site meetings are called client meetings. When you conduct any meetings, attend client meetings in evening hours, if your client is US client, those are client meetings. Offshore meetings are nothing but within company. Every day we have meeting with your manager, we have meeting with your HR, we have meeting with your team leads. Various types of meetings will be conducted. Any meetings which are conducted within company is called offshore. The meetings which are conducted from client side is called on-site. This is a simple role. When developing is going on, you are not free in the organization. So that is how the SDLC processes will be implemented. The different stages are followed. So that now we got who are participating here and what stages we have in this and what responsibilities are taken up each and every member. We got a clarity. Am I clear to all of you guys?
Yes.
Right? So now can I get into types of SDLCs now? Let
Yeah,
us
you
see.
can.
Yes. See that. Here SDLCs are two types here basically. Different types of SDLCs we have. There are various software development approaches which are defined and designed, which are used and employed during development process of your software. Two types we have. One is called sequential models and one is called incremental model, or we also call iterative models. Incremental, iterative, sequential model. Two types. Sequential models are nothing but waterfalls model, V model. Incremental or iterative models are nothing but rapid application model or prototype model, spiral models. All this comes under incrementals. Even agile also will be included here. That is different topic we'll discuss. First, let us concentrate on sequential model. Sequential models. Sequential. We call sequential means what that meaning? Sequential means one-time development. These sequential models are suitable for small size of projects. Small size of projects where all SDLC activities will be carried out one after another for the entire project. Repeat again. These sequential models are suitable for small size of projects where all SDLC activities will be carried out one after another for the entire project. So that one after for the entire project. For example, individual house. It's only for one customer, not for everybody. We develop only one life cycle for that individual house. Apartment we don't complete with one cycle. We go with a number of cycles. Number of flats will be there. Number of floors will be there. So it all depends upon the size of the project we are getting from the client. So that we say waterfalls model. We look at that waterfalls model. Waterfalls model looks like this. You know, the very first model introduced in IT market is waterfalls model only here. The very first model introduced in IT market is waterfalls. Waterfalls. Look at that. Meaning of waterfalls is you cannot get back. Only top to bottom, no bottom to top. It's the first SDLC model introduced in IT market. When IT has come into market, it was success. And based on this model, remaining models are followed based on this waterfalls. Same stages are followed again. See, you know, all of just now we discuss. User requirements are gathered by the business analyst. And once we get these requirements, before going to next phase, remember in waterfalls model, before going to next phase, should be very clear in this phase. Then we go for a developing system requirements. System requirements nothing but SRS. And based on this, we go for a developing designing, high level design, low level design, architecture, system architecture fellows. And then they go for coding, developers. And then testing will be done. And then we go for delivering. Simple process. Top to bottom. But in waterfalls model, all implementation activities will be carried out for the entire project one after another. One after another. One after another. This model is suitable for small size of projects where requirements are very clear. Very clear. That means whenever whatever requirements you are giving up in the initial stage, based on that requirements only we go on developing. In between, if you ask us to make some changes, not allowed. Let us know initially, let us know what exactly you want to develop in your software. That's what I'm saying. Very clear, as size of the application is small and also as requirements are very clear. Validation is enough. Verification is not required for this model project because no verification, only validation. And one more thing, in waterfalls model, we don't recruit testing team beginning of the project because of budget issues. We recruit testing team only after completion of developing software. That's what I'm saying. Depends on the models we follow. That's what it looks like waterfalls. That's what title as waterfalls model. See that what advantage we have with this model means for any project, if all requirements are stable, you give me any project, small type of project, but what type of requirements are required there? Stable requirements. Stable means what? Without any changes, no instability. Then this suitable model to deliver quality product to customers. Minimal budget is required for a project if project requirements are stable. Minimal means what? Very less budget. Drawbacks here is it will not allow moving from bottom to top where when there is a change in requirements. Then again we have to start from requirement phase 100%. No way of going from bottom to top to bottom only. Any changes requirements required for customer in between not allowed. That's what verification techniques will not be available. Verification means what? Reviews. So we cannot ensure everything is happening in each phase according to requirements. Hence all issues leads to find in testing phase. So no verification here. So tester will have a lot of burden. And you guys, you have to find out all the issues during your testing phase. For any project which is having unstable requirements, it is not at all suitable. If you continue, then it become a deliver quality product, unexpected time and lot of budget required. Yes, suppose now you are testing phase here. Now you are testing a product during waterfalls model. Suddenly client is requesting to make some changes. What we have to do now? Again, we have to modify from SRS documentation. If I modify SRS, again designing should be done. If I design a software, again coding will be done. One more life cycle is followed or not? You asked me to construct one house, single house. Again, you asked me to construct one more house, means what I should do above that house. That is not individual house. Yes or no? Again, I have to follow one more life cycle. I don't go for free of cost. How many months I taken for constructing this single house? 6 months. Again, I'll take 6 months again for that. So that's what I'm telling. Let me know initially what exact are you going with a duplex house or single house or apartment? Let me know. Then we'll plan. According to your plan, we'll plan. After developing, no, change my plan means what is that? Collapsing building again constructing. That's what. So SDLCs, we are choosing SDLCs based on what? Based on client given business requirements. The client business requirements are very much necessary. Based on that only, we are about to deliver the product in a quality way. Let's see, if you know all SDLC, then you'll understand which is the best model, and also if you understand Agile also, then you'll understand how Agile is followed, why SDLCs are not followed nowadays, why companies are going with Agile processes at the same time. Am I clear to all of you guys? This is the first model here. This is a basic model which is followed by every organization based on the customer requirements. We're implementing and developing the product. Am I clear to all of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So remaining models will start tomorrow because it takes time here. Tomorrow we'll complete all types of SDLCs, water V model, and all that. And once I receive mails from Narendra, I will keep on forwarding the documentation to you from today. Okay. Do you have any questions? You can ask me, please.
No, sir.
Is it clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Are
Yes,
you teach?
Yes, sir.
Ma?
You are going to teach SQL also, na, sir?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And happy with the session.
Okay, fine. Okay, guys. We'll complete tomorrow. We'll complete remaining SDLCs and we'll go for agile. This basic. Then we'll start our white box techniques, black box techniques, and then I'll give project. I'll assign you and we'll work out everything clearly. Don't worry. Okay, guys.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
See you guys. Yeah. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.